You want to amend law? The law cannot be retrogressive. It's never done. You must allow them. If you're making a law, that means the law will come into effect when the next set of council chairmen will be elected, or councillors will be elected. You can't just say, okay, their tenure is ending so day, therefore I'm changing their tenure. No, it's not done legally. It's not done. There is no law backing them.
So your point right now is this is coming at a time where we already have the tenures of these people elapsing, so you cannot now make something like this.
Yes, their tenure is coming to an end. Let me say it. On the 18th of June 2021, they were sworn into office by the former governor, His Excellency, now the Minister of FCT Abuja. You can't just change upon a 3-year tenure. You can see. So how will you just all of a sudden say you're changing the law, you're extending? Do you ever call for public hearing? Does anybody make an input?
Because some people will also look at futuristically how this could also affect other council chairmen. Imagining, I mean, now it's what it is, until perhaps it is repealed or it is altered or changed. That's what it is now, which is also getting people to look at this and say, this move by the assembly, have we also looked at the future implications of this? Does that then mean that every administration would look at ensuring that elections are held? Because prior to this time, you were a council chairman.
Yes, and I had my 3 years.
Okay, and after you left, was the elections held immediately, or you had caretaker chairman? How did that happen?
There was no caretaker chairman.
Was it because having a caretaker chairman is unconstitutional?
We came in 18th of June 2018. I will start the 2021, our 3 years. Then they took over. On the 18th of June 2021, the newly elected chairman took over. There was no caretaker. So I don't see the need for you to say you're extending, you're elongating.
But is it out of place to have a caretaker chairman? Because we know that has happened before in this state and even other parts of the country. Even in government parastatals, where let's use the humanitarian ministry for instance, where we have the issue with Better Edu, you'd have someone in acting capacity, caretaker capacity, etc. Is it out of place to have that? Because we also had heard the assembly speak about the caretaker chairman idea, and we have people also react to it. Is it unconstitutional or out of place?
Let me say that is subject to the discretion of the executive governor of Rivers State. If you want to do, it's subject to the approval. It's subject to the discretion of the governor.
So why do we
don't have that?
So why is the assembly? Why is the assembly peculiar about? We don't want. We've had situations where we have caretaker chairmen run an entire tenure.
I was a former caretaker chairman.
Okay, so why is it now that the assembly feels this is having a caretaker chairman?
Maybe they know what they have.
Because
maybe they know what you want to do.
This set of lawmakers have been there when we had, some of them, not all of them, have been there when we had caretaker chairman.
Of course, obviously.
We didn't see that we didn't hear them say it was wrong. So is there something, you are a former chairman, so I'm asking you, yes, from your experience, do you think that there are certain loopholes or issues that perhaps they are now seeing, those of them who were there before, and feel let's adjust this?
I think, let me say it, I don't see, it's subject, like I said, it's subject to the discretion of the executive governor of Rivers State. The House of Assembly is a different arm of government. The executive is a different arm of government. So if the governor said, I want that, but subject to his own discretion, the House of Assembly cannot say form or don't form. It's left for the governor to decide. And perhaps, based on the peculiarity and the circumstances, we find ourselves now in Rivers State.
Yes.
And what we are all saying, that Rivers people, we are mobilizing support for the mandate we gave to His Excellency. And we say we must support him. So the House of Assembly cannot say do this or don't do that. They are different.
But the House of Assembly, if this becomes law, it will need the governor to also sign.
That is one thing.
To it. So where does that leave us? Because now the question for many people and the fear is, if we do not have the council elections hold, we haven't heard from RISIEC, We don't know whether there's a budget that's been released for or prepared for these for the council elections, and we haven't gotten anything direct, concrete from the state government as well with regards to that.
Let me just give you two examples.
Okay.
In Kebbi State and Enugu State, the tenure of the elected chairman ended, and what happened? There was a directive from the commissioner in Enugu State, the head of local government administration should take over, pending when there will be availability of funds, pending when they consider it necessary to conduct local government
election. You just took that one, because I was going to ask you, if we don't have caretaker chairman,
yes,
or we don't have the election, who could be next?
I may not know. I may not here to tell you. I'm not here to tell you this person. This.
But from what you said in Kebbi State, from what you said about Kebbi State, you think that is also possible? That it
perhaps, in the wisdom of the governor, if he said, "Look, this is what I want to do," or "This is what we should do." So why is the assembly trying to put His Excellency under pressure?
You don't think that the assembly are just doing their job as assembly members?
What job? Yeah, I say they have a right to make law, but you don't just change the goalposts at the middle of the game. How will you just elongate and extend the tenure of chairmen that were elected upon 3 years tenure? The local government law said you're going to serve for 3 years, and all of a sudden, toward the end of their tenure, the House of Assembly were elongating. My brother, I don't think.
But there was a caveat that they put to it.
What?
It wasn't that they just want to extend it. But
if
we do not have the elections,
what are their reasons?
The elections for local government, if that happens and we have that, then there's no point that particular provisions that they just looked at the floor of the House would have no grounds. But if it doesn't happen, and then we see that the tenure of the council chairman chairman are expiring, then
election is subject to the discretion of His Excellency and the availability of funds.
But RISIAC conducts election. Shouldn't it be RISIAC's position to tell us whether they have the funds released already or plans for the elections?
We are waiting to hear from them. We have not heard from them. We are waiting to hear from them. But election in Nigeria is capital intensive. And if the fund is not available, how do you think His Excellency should just conduct local government election? There must be availability of fund. There must be some logistics put in place. So I think that law extending the tenure of the local government chairman is a nullity. As a lawyer, it's a nullity. It's a nullity.
How is it a nullity if you've just also said that the assembly members are within their rights to make laws?
They have a right to make law.
But is this law unconstitutional, or is it a law you're looking at the constitutionality of, or you're looking at it from a place of a moral standpoint?
We are looking from the totality, from the moral standpoint, from the constitution. If you are amending a constitution, let me tell you, in 2011, President Goodluck Jonathan was the president. There was an amendment to the constitution. The law cannot be retrogressive. The law must what? The law must be very, very progressive. So you cannot make law now and say that law, you are validating the law for people that were elected to serve the tenure, either 4 years, 3 years, and all of a sudden you're changing it to say, look, you're going to be, we're extending for this.
So if we're looking at the retrogressive, progressive picture you're painting, it means if the law even would be made, it would not be implemented under this particular outgoing council chairman.
The subsequent people that are coming are those who are going to benefit from such a law. Okay, let me ask you, can you just say, for now in Nigeria, President Tinubu say, I want my tenure to be 5 years? No. And the National Assembly will say, we are past. No. It's going to be what? Progressive. By the next election, the next president coming can say, yes, the constitution will be amended for my tenure to be 5 years, not being retrogressive, because you were elected upon the fact that you are going to serve 4 years or 3 years,
which is an already existing law.
That is what we are saying.
All right.
That's what we're saying.
We'll take a very short commercial. Let me remind us. Go on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Search on Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. You would see the Nigeria Info logo. Like the page. We're streaming live, so yes, you can interact with the live stream. Do well to share the live stream as well, so we can get as many people to be a part of the conversation online and share their views. We go for a short commercial. When we come back, I would need you to tell me whether you're worried that we could have a violent council election when that time comes. You'd also respond to it, because there's now a look of people saying there's political struggle. Well, after we return.
You are tuned in.
It's still the morning crossfire. Our conversation continues here, and my guest, Philip Okparaji, a lawyer, a former council chairman for Eleme local government, a pioneer GDI coordinator in Eleme, also a PDP leader in Eleme, is with us in the studio. If you've been following the conversation, you must have heard my guest's opinion on some of the issues raised. One of them is the assemblies, the bill on the floor of the assembly that looked into the extension of the tenure of the council chairman if we don't have that election held at the time that we ought to, and also the local government elections itself. We'll be coming to that shortly. But importantly is the question we're asking on Facebook. Are you worried we could have a violent council election when the time comes? Is that a concern for you? It's already a concern for a lot of people if you follow the conversation on social media. I'm talking about X and Facebook. Now that we mentioned those, do well to get on Facebook at Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. Search for it. You see the Nigeria Info logo, like the page. Join the live stream. Do well to also share the live stream. On X, it is Nigeria Info PH, and we need you to respond to the question you would find there on the live stream. I'll come back to my guest now, Mr. Philip. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, before we get on to the question I asked before the break, which was whether you had concerns about the possibility of a violent council elections, when we get to that bridge, because some people already are saying what's happening now, it's a battle for who controls the local government, which is closest to the grassroots. And that also would bring us to GDI conversations, which I would also bring in, because we know some coordinators, many coordinators, are excluding themselves from their role and have been showing solidarity and support to the governor of Rivers State. But before all that, we'll continue with the move by the assembly. Some of the council chairmen who are council chairmen now were council chairmen for second term. So it meant they had a first term.
There are 8 of them.
Yes. So those council chairmen in their first term, the elections for the council elections at the time, the assembly's position now, why wasn't that position there at the time is what some people are asking. If I go on a message on Facebook, so we'll just put it out there quickly. I know that it's coming from some of the listener. This one says, sometimes, I can't find that message anymore. Sometimes I wonder, Precious Onwalozie says, good morning. I think the guest in the studio is telling us the truth and nothing but the truth. The law is witch hunting. It is undemocratic, and those lawmakers should be very careful because Rivers people are watching them. The Rivers Assembly members are trying to protect the structure of their orga at the top. This is Joseph Jonah. I just missed that message because it's a live stream. So actually was just pointing at the fact that we had some of these people, 8 of them had the first term, and the assembly members who were there during their first term, some of them are still there now. Just like I was asking how those same people might have been there even before, and these laws were not looked at to extend the tenure of local council chairmen. What could have changed now?
Well, I think that is what we cannot I cannot actually explain what have changed, what actually prompted them to say we want to amend. But let me say it, Rivers State is a very peaceful state. Our governor, the governor all of us elected on the 18th of March 2023 is a very, very peaceful man. He's a man who is not, have you heard him quarreling anybody? Have you heard him say any statement? Have you heard him issue any statement and quarreling? What the governor always say, even when he see me, he call my oga. That means he's a man of peace. In fact, Silverbird gave him an award, 2023 man of peace advocate award, 2023. So I don't, politicians being what they are, some of them will want to read different meaning into this because they want to get this, they want to get that. But I think from what you and I know about His Excellency, he's a very peaceful man. So there is not going to be any, when the governor consider it necessary to conduct local government election, it's not going to be a violent election. It's going to be a very peaceful election. I'm telling you.
How do you respond to people who are saying that some of the council chairmen are not, in good rapport with the governor? It's
left for them.
So
let me tell you, if you look at Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, local governments are part of the state under a governor. So it's left for the local government chairmen that are doing that. But to me, I want to urge them that they should have a very good rapport with His Excellency.
If they don't have that rapport, you don't think it would affect the outcome of the election? Some people still believe that the interest at the moment is the FCT minister. He was in the state recently and he made some comments about some people should get award for being pretenders. and talked about how politicians are some politicians with personal interest are those behind the political instability.
Maybe the minister knows
which brings me to what could happen at the local level. Some people think it's an open secret that there's a clear divide. Some people are loyal to the FCT minister. Some people are loyal to the governor of Rivers State.
There's no doubt about that.
So how would that then play during local government elections? Because there are those that would want to ensure that they also protect the interest of the minister that they are loyal to.
Let me tell you, my own local government, Eleme local government, we are fully simplified. We are fully simplified. We are fully standing with the governor.
Is that coming from your council chairman?
Well, the council chairman is just one man. It's just one man. Just one man, because you eventually find yourself as the council chairman. That means you cannot dictate the tune. You may have your own interests, but I think the majority of people of Eleme are standing with His Excellency the Executive Governor of Rivers State. There is no doubt about that. I don't want to come into the whatever you may consider as a kind of political tussle or between His Excellency.
But that's clearly what a lot of people were saying. That's where we stand.
The governor is the governor of the state. The governor is the leader of the state. There is no doubt about that. The governor is the leader of the party in Rivers State. There is no doubt about that. Local government chairman should work in synergy with the governor for the peace and development of the area.
So, how does this for several governments all swearing allegiance to the government?
Maybe they saw the light.
What could be? Because we know that the GDI is a brainchild of the former governor of Rivers State.
Let me tell you.
So what is happening now?
Maybe they saw the light. You know.
It has
maybe they were living in darkness before.
It has nothing.
I was a former GDI coordinator.
Exactly. So why did you? You're in support of the governor now. Why? Are you still a member of GDI?
I'm supporting the governor. I'm a member of Simplify Movement.
You're not a member of GDI anymore.
I'm supporting the governor, the elected governor. I'm supporting the governor. I'm a member of Simplify Movement. I cannot be here and be there. I'm saying it. I'm a member of Simplify Movement, and we are solidly and fully behind the mandate we gave to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, on the 18th of March, 2023.
We've seen several GDI coordinators declare openly their support for the governor.
Collins Onuwo.
Yeah, it's the most recent. Collins Onuwo.
Of the coordinator.
So I'm saying, what informed this decision? Does that still make you and others like himself members of GDI, or you're no longer members of GDI, you just now are supporting the governor?
We are not just supporting the governor, because we saw that the governor mean well for the development, peace, and good governance of Rivers State. And that is why we say we must stand with him. We must stand with him. He's the executive governor of Rivers State. You can see the development. You can see what the governor is doing. For the first time, my brother, for the first time in Rivers State, civil servant, we are giving 100,000 during the Christmas of 2023. Each 100,000. For the first time, promotion that were over the years stagnated, the governor have ordered for promotion. As I'm sitting here, there is promotion going on in the local government civil service commission. You can see what the governor is doing. 50.15 kilometer ring roads. You can see it. You can see even the Moji and Leto road going on. You can see what they call the Ebere Omuma road going on. The internal roads in Eleme from the bridge to Eteo has been completed. You can see internal roads going on in Kana. You can see internal roads, Elele Wombiakpo. You can see what the governor, who will see all this and say, I will identify with an achiever.
Okay. With
a man working for the progress, working for the peace, working for good governance, working for development of Rivers State. I'm a lawyer. I took my resolution. I've been looking at it and I say, no, I'm standing with the executive governor of Rivers State. Because he mean well for the progress of Rivers State. He mean well for the development of River State.
You don't think about what some people would say, oh, as a former chairman, maybe you fell out of grace and did not get reappointed or given any other appointment, and whatever you're doing now could be because you're trying to get political relevance.
After my tenure, I went to legal practice. You saw me fully dressed. I'm even going to call from here. I'm going to Federal High Court. I have a matter in Federal High Court. I didn't fall out of any favor. Let me say it. I'll say it in all honesty. His Excellency Eleme is Moga. It's Moga. We are not quarreling. When he took the present governor, Similaye Fubra, on the 8th, on the 9th of February 2023, to Eleme for campaign, I will all join. So I don't think I'm not falling out of favor to say I'm doing this because of that or that. No, because when you saw or when you see a man who mean well, my brother, even you identify with such a man. When you see a very peaceful man, you identify with such a man.
All right,
I can go on give you what the governor is doing.
All right, we'll leave that for the government to tell us.
Yes,
let's get.
But I just want to enumerate some.
You already have. Yeah. You already have. Let's take a few calls. We don't have a lot of time. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. You've heard from my guest. It says, from a legal standpoint, the law is progressive, not retrogressive, and hence, if the assembly choose to say they want to extend tenures of council chairman, it has to not begin with this administration, but the incoming chairman are those that could benefit from it. For this ones, it's already gone. It's already gone. Well, is that how it's going to stand? Will that be the outcome? Are you concerned that when we get to the time where we want to have these local government elections, we might see violence? Well, the prayer is no, but then we also have to look at the indices on the ground and look at what the political situation in the state is like. My guest has also said there's nothing to be worried about people loyal to the minister and loyal to the governor. The governor is the leader and in charge of the state, and when it's time for that election, it will be peaceful. Do you agree? Let's find out. 0817-923-0003. And please, straight to the point so we can take as much calls as possible. Susie from Eleme, good morning. Let's hear from you.
Yeah.
You have to use that.
Andrew, I greet your guest in the studio.
Okay, Susie, go on.
Andrew, yes, your guest in the studio has made some valid points, but some of the points he has raised is what I consider a contradiction.
Which of them?
Even as they are saying that the governor will actually conduct local government election at his discretion. And then, as a lawyer, he quoted Section 7 of the Nigeria Constitution, or Section 1, and then refused to actually interpret it the way it's supposed to be. That is a caveat. The Constitution said the system of local government to democratically elected local government council is under this Constitution guaranteed. And according to the government, every state shall, subject to this Section 8 of this Constitution, the Constitution ensures the existence of this council chairman under this same law, provided for the establishment of such structures and all of that. So if your guest is saying that the local government chairman or the governor is at his discretion to actually give preview to local government chairman in the state and all of that, what has happened to the section of this particular constitution and also the ruling of the Supreme Court in a matter concerning other states? The Supreme Court has said as a local classical that no governor at a time has the right to actually institute a caretaker. Let's agree that maybe they have assembly members.
But Susie, have we had caretaker chairmen at the council in Rivers State?
That's what I'm saying. The council in Rivers State, the law made by the assembly, like he has said, that the assembly have right to make law. The constitution guarantees that they should make law. But whether you agree with that law that they have made or not, the issue here is that it is the court that will actually interpret otherwise later, and not you saying that they do not have right and that law has no effect. That same law will have effect as far as I'm concerned, and it will bind on the people in Rivers.
All right, thank you, Susie. I think my guest also pointed out two things, not just the constitutionality of it, but then the moral standpoint of it, which will bring us to what you said. If this is what was said by the law, how did we then have caretaker chairmen in this same state with some members of the same assembly as lawmakers. And that's where people are questioning. So you would also understand that's a moral standpoint to it. But there's the constitutionality of it. Is it illegal? Well, clearly it is not. Zion in GRA, good morning.
Thank you very much. The legality of caretaker, I think that should be the discourse. Do you know that this whole struggle or agitation can be backdated to the 1976 local government reforms? If the Constitution gives the provision for caretakers to come on board, then all these agitations in Rivers State are effort in futility. And the actions of the 27 members who are friends of themselves, if you notice, all the laws they are making are all obnoxious. The amendments are just behaved as if somebody is chasing them. It's funny. And look at what they are doing now. This local government action they are taking now, it shows that they need to be schooled on how law works in Nigeria. And let me put it to you, sir, there will never be anything violent. We should stop promoting or preempting or try to incite or press the trigger and make people feel there's going to be violence. As long as Rivers State today is concerned, Governor Singh Fubara is in charge and is making every propositions for there to be a total peace. I don't know when last you went to Bori Ogoni. Have you seen that he's making Bori Ogoni to become a smart city? We talk about decentralized Port Harcourt. Go and see what is happening in Ogoni, Bori.
All right, Zion.
Achieving a landmark success.
All right, thank you, Zion. Let's go to
Andoni.
Atisi is on the line. Atisi from Andoni, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, go on.
Yeah. You see, the problem here is that especially if they're afraid that there might be violence. But to me, I don't think there will be violence because as I have seen, it is a matter granted with wisdom by God to manage situations. So I equally believe that the forthcoming local government election is not going to be violent. I mean, like with the help of security personnel, I know there will be calm. I don't think Singh will be that type who go and hire talk to create violence. And any other person that tries to do that, I think, as the governor of the state, they have all it takes.
All right, Atisi.
To stop that.
Okay.
And the issue of this so-called caretaker and no caretaker, I don't really know what they want. I think they are doing all these things against the 2027 governorship election so that they can have their people on ground to put him away out of the state, but that will not happen. If Sim intends to appoint caretaker chairman, to me, I don't see anything wrong with that. We have had caretaker chairman in this state. It's still in this state. It's not even quite long. So why is it now a taboo? Please, they should stop this and allow this state to be. See, Andoni Road have been finished. Like,
all right,
you can drive now to my community.
Let's move on to Chima and Elekai here. JJ is next. Okay, Chima. All right, let's go to JJ and Rumigwo. JJ, good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, let me get your best in the studio.
Thank you, JJ.
Andrew, remember in the first tenure of the former governor, this same assembly, that ninth assembly, passed a law allowing a local government chairman to stay for more than 2 terms of 3 months. Are you aware? This same assembly for local government chairman to stay for 9 good months. Equally, local government chairman benefited from that. Agriculture also benefited from that, and so many other local governments. They stayed for that long. They amended the law for this purpose. These same people don't like caretaker anymore. I don't get it. Something you liked last year, now you don't like it anymore. So, as far as I'm concerned, some of the laws they are making I think it's just working against the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They're talking about financial autonomy. The same financial autonomy you rejected at the time. So as far as I'm concerned, I go alongside the man in the studio there. I think he has spoken very well. Thank you very much.
All right, JJ, thank you. Akanto is on the line. We also have Robin. Okay, we'll start. Akanto from Bori. Let's hear your thoughts.
My friend Andrew, good morning. How are you doing?
Very fine, thank you. Go ahead, Akanto.
Yes, the JSU, a lot of people have spoken well. And the map of Rivers people, majority right thinking member of Rivers people. Andrew, my friend, go. Have a look at me. 747 or something like that local government in Nigeria. About 60% of the state in Nigeria, 60% local government are in caretaker. Just go it now. As I speak now, suppose there's a judicial president, there's a caretaker committee, this and that. And let me say it's an authority. Who is the governor and in charge of River State now? I never come out maybe and you want to set a caretaker committee. He allow the present administration to wipe away than June 15. So, if the committee of friends of the American people are sitting down somewhere, I say, what should it be to address it? Okay, I was a student, president of the work a few years ago, and there's a constitution that gives me right to contest an election, and I won that election. So, that is why will it be that at least 3 weeks from expiration of my tenure? Therefore, I made law to elevate my tenure is abnormal.
All right, Akanto.
It's unconstitutional.
Thank you. Robin from Echie, good morning.
Good morning, my brother Eleme Andrew.
All right, go on, Robin.
Present to our guests in the studio.
Thank you.
The charade being perpetrated by the 27 or 25 lawmakers, they are just showing themselves that they are not representing anybody rather than themselves. In the game of football, you make a rule before the game starts, which includes you play the ball with your legs, not with your hands. What they are doing, they are playing the ball with their legs and their hands. And it will not work. These local government chairmen were elected under a law that they have a tenure to serve 3 years. And they have about 4 months or 3 months thereabouts. Some group of persons start and say they have amended the law. They are jokers. You see, the time is gone past when people believe that one man decides how River State will go. So long as River State remains today, under Sim Fubara, His Excellency, there's nothing any joker can do anywhere. When the time comes, it will come.
Okay, Robin.
Those of us that belong to the old school, that we have been humiliated, haunted by the former government, we all will be out. And the election will be peaceful.
Okay.
People will be elected and man those offices.
Thank you, Robin. Let's get to Elekaya. Braid is on the line, and then we go to a Akrika for Muriel before the commercial. Braid, straight to the point, please.
Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning.
Good morning to the guests. The guests have spoken very extensively. Yeah, I think it's a good one. That at this point in time, I don't think there will be any violence in River State. The peaceful nature of the governor has surpassed all those violence they are praying for. Where I think Martins Amewule was in the 9th Assembly, and also George, representing Ancestral Constituency 1, is also in the 10th Assembly. When the governor made a pronouncement concerning RSSDA, River State Road Management Authority, disband them without repealing them. It's a impeachable offense. They don't react. And now they are amending several laws. Are we in Banana Republic? We are not in Banana Republic. And these are committee of friends that I will call them because the law does no longer recognize them.
All right, Braid.
So please, for the interest of peace, they should leave the governor to work effectively with River people.
All right, Braid, thank you. Let's go to Akrika now. Muriel, let's hear from you before we go on the commercial.
Oh, thank you, Philly. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, that is no woman. If you take me, I really want to thank the for his disposition. So far, I've seen two leaders that have been proud. And now the governor, nobody needs to change him. His disposition and take back all the GBS members. Now, okay, I've always supported the governor that I'm not the one that enforces black white. No. If something is good, I take it back. I say, whatever the governor is saying, these lawmakers, he's correctly for himself. He's 65. And they are going me, and they still don't seem to support her. And I'm just by the side working. And when it's wrong, and when it does anything to say, I will call it out. Look, what is the thing? He calls it and for him. And 50 people back. I believe they've not been started. But to the lawmakers, I want to ask me, can they come out and tell us who is making the law for? Is it for themselves or for their master? So can they tell us the reason why they believe this local government chairman should go to what are those done?
All right, Miriam.
To make them feel that they did not take tenure. What is it? Let's work.
All right, Miriam, thank you. We'll take a short commercial. When we come back, my guest will respond, and we'll take some messages on WhatsApp and Facebook. Stay with us.
Go for Govt. Tenure Govt.
Hey, Mr. Philip, are we good now? Okay. I'm sure we understand. Jude is also with us in the studio. Hello, Jude.
Hi. Obviously, it sounds like something went down the wrong way.
Yeah.
More like speak going down the wrong way.
So, Mr. Philip, you could just take your time. Okay. Take your time and
okay.
All right. Well, good.
All right.
Jude.
Once again, Sports Accord, we're getting ready. Fascinating conversation you and your guests are having, talking about, if and when extensions, all of that. But I can understand the pulse of the people on the streets, Andrew. People would like to get to see a scenario where, proper things are done at the proper time.
Okay.
And they don't seem to have any political leaning. Does the law say this can be done?
Let it be what it says.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Philip, I hope that whatever went down the wrong pipe is successfully out.
Okay.
All right, so let's just touch on some messages on WhatsApp and get your response as we wrap up. This one says, should elections be at the discretion of His Excellency, or should it be a constitutional matter? Are we not obligated to follow a cycle as proposed by the Constitution? I mean, we've never had an acting president or acting governor to cover up. I mean, we know the cycle and we know what we do. This is a question from this listener. Another one says, just because the wrong precedent has been set doesn't mean we should continue in that direction. Caretaker chairmen are unconstitutional. The governor should conduct local government elections and stop causing unnecessary crisis. Which brings us to, is it the governor that conducts or RISIEC who conducts the elections? Caretaker is normal thing in every government administration, so take it or leave it. This is confidence in Lebedim from Ozuzu Iche. Mr. Philip, quickly in few seconds, what would be your response? How as we wrap up?
Like I said before, I'm not here to advocate for caretaker committee at the local government level. But what I said is subject to the availability of funds for the conduct of the local government election. When the fund is available, the local government election will be conducted in Rivers State.
So you believe that it should not be at the discretion of the government. We should know, despite, like for the presidential election, it does not matter. We know 4 years. INEC knows. So the government knows that it has to prepare the funds to these elections. The budget by INEC is drawn up and we follow. Can we have the same for local government elections?
In Rivers State.
All the states of the federation.
If the funds are available, we should have.
So we can make excuses for the constitutional provisions if there is no fund.
Well, if there is no fund, what do you want us to do? And subject to the prevailing circumstances. You know, you and I know what is happening in Rivers State now. And the governor needs time. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
The funds should be available for the conduct of local government election.
All right, thank you very much. Judo, I'm pretty sure Hello Port Harcourt is going to be splendid. I call him Judo, so don't mind. I'm simply referring to Jude. Well, we'll go for the news at 9. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. Thank you for your time.